Good morning. Today we are driving 120 miles to the state of Connecticut from New Jersey to pick up the next outboard that I would like to fix and get out to the gentleman who gave me the other 25 horsepower that is running off won't pump water, which I intend on looking at further, but just in case the whole project blows up in my face, we're gonna go get this motor. Hopefully it works out better than the last one. So, join me as we take the 3-hour ride to and back to pick up one of the few decently priced 25 horsepower outboards within the tri-state area. I'll give you a sneak peek the minute we get there. 2 hours to go. 6-hour trip completed, and we picked up this gem. Now, it's an 85 short shaft. It's got the split case, gear case. So it's interesting how the 80s, depending on which model you got either the newer style or the older style gear case. I don't care about the gear case, I care about the power head. This motor apparently starts up, runs great. You're riding on the lake, you stop it, you go fishing, you go to start it, won't run. Won't run. It won't restart until it cools back down. So we're gonna look into that. We took a very long drive to find this one. Hopefully this thing runs. I think we're gonna narrow it down to primer issues, overflow of gas, or some sort of fluctuation in fuel, or what I'm hoping is like a stator. Not a stator, but the stator slash power pack slash coils getting overheated. So let's hope that's the problem. This thing should start up and run fine. Apparently that was the thing, is it always started up, it always ran on the lake. As long as you kept it running, it was good. The minute you shut it off, restart, wouldn't restart until it cooled down. So stay tuned for the hopeful resurrection of this is a Johnson J25RCRD, 85 25 horsepower. Yep, a little more to come. Here is today's specimen. This is the 1985 Johnson 25 horse, picked up in Connecticut. Good price, has issues. Let's pray we don't get too deep and ruin it like the last short shaft 25 we had. This one looks like a good candidate. It's in very clean shape for an outboard's been sitting for at least a couple years now, 5-10 years, whatever it was. You know, again, the story. Go on the lake, runs fine, starts up, beautiful, drive. Just park, fish, go to start it up, won't start. Wait till it cools down, restarts, it runs fine. So that tells me right away ignition. Hopefully it's ignition. We'll check the coils, check the trigger, the starter ring, and then maybe check for some a lot of people say vapor lock. Highly doubt it. It's just not usual with these outboards. But we will look at that. But I think it's going to be ignition. Hopefully it's just ignition. It doesn't seem to be an overheating issue, but we'll find out if it pumps and everything else later. Name tag is a 3 underneath the 2. Somebody playing games. Could you imagine if this was a 35? It's not. The tag says J25, so we know it's a 25 horse. Unless they all had a, I don't know, an interesting thought. Carburetor might be bigger. Who knows? Anyway, so it's clean. Try to get you in for a close look. Today's channel will be 100% via the phone. Hopefully iMovie works and I'll be able to get this to YouTube, because Apple has a real issue transferring video from phone to computer. But so it's got the split gear case, not like the newer style with the solid through hub exhaust. The shift linkage comes apart via your plate and the gears, and that's really it. The only broken reason is this thing flops. It doesn't lock. Probably won't lock in the up position, and you probably can't you probably won't be, you're not going to be able to lock it. So if you want to go in reverse, the sucker's going to whoop whoop fly up on you. Let's take a look. You can tell how clean it is. So for an 85, this thing looks awesome. Pop the hood off and see what we're working with in the undercarriage. Yeah, it looks dirty, but as far as dirt goes, this thing's clean. No rust, no breaking, no JB weld, wires aren't cracked. This is just dirt from two-stroke oil, and you know, things happen on the water. It's just dirt. That's going to clean up real nice. Flywheel was locked when I originally looked at it, but I played with the cable, you know, the safety cable, so it doesn't let you start it while you're in gear. And we have freed up the pull start, so we no longer have to fix a pull start for the first time in our lives. Other than that, everything turns. Timing's a little off, and that's to be expected. The cam roller's not supposed to move until it hits the marks. So we're at the marks. It should be starting to open, and it's not moving. It's not moving, and then there she goes. So she's a little past. Timing's a little off. Now it does have timing marks on the flywheel. It wants you to spark advance at 30 degrees. I've never used the timing light on these, but hey, it's a first for everything. Other than that, there's not much to look at. It's clean. It's a clean looking motor. He said he had it for 10 years, so it's probably got some miles, probably got some hours, but no discoloration. The head looks pretty good. I don't think it ever overheated. You know, if you're running all day, no problems, then you shut it off, go to restart, it won't start. That doesn't tell me it suffered from an overheat. And then some of the hood came off into the cowling and the foam, which gets right into the carb, dirties these carbs up real quick, so we'll clean the carb up. Let's see if she'll fire. You know, I don't normally do this, but now it's becoming normal. But it's so clean, and he did say it would run. You know, it's just that issue after running it for a while. So she should fire. I don't see why it wouldn't fire off. Let's see what happens. All right, we're primed up. A little fuel leak at the connector right now. We'll worry about that later. Prime. Anybody know how to work these primer levels? I know you prime it. What do? Do you stick it back in? Some people say put it in halfway, start it up, and then when it runs, you push it in all the way. Let's see what happens. Needle was very loose, but half, one, half. It's interesting to see the sticker says initial setting open 2 turns. It's not true. All right, after several pulls, I'm not getting anything. So let's test for spark. I'm reminded of a movie. I have a spark checker. You've seen it. Now it's covered in mud. Cousin Vinny? Anybody? Crickets? I have a spark. I have a suit. You've seen it. Everybody knows the line. I don't know where it is. I lost it. It's gone. I have 3 other spark checkers. If you guys have been on Amazon, you buy all the cheap ones. They're all garbage. The one that does work well I can't find, so I gotta go to the old school, stick to the block. Okay, nothing. Let me check the bottom cylinder. There's no spark, either cylinder. So, either my coils are bad, I have a bad trigger up top, or the whole power pack is shot. Coils 9 times out of 10 are very good, but if it is warming up and then not restarting, they could be getting hot and then failing after that. Not likely, but could be anything. Power packs do go on these, and I coincidentally have 2 spares. I hope it's a power pack. I hope it's a power pack. Let's do some quick OHM testing procedures, which people like to see. Plenty of videos on how to do that. Let's see if our coils are good and our trigger and stator are good. You can test the coil pack, but you need a DVA meter. I have one of those. I don't know how to use it, so we're gonna skip that part. But I think there is videos on YouTube to show how to do that. All right, let's get the old. Get your multimeter out. Set it to ohms, which should be the top guy with the horseshoe. And then you unplug the wire coming from the stator. It's the bigger one. All right. The other end is going to go to the power pack. We want to test the wires going into the trigger and this charging coil. So you take two measurements, the inner ones and the outer ones. The inner ones are supposed to read, don't quote me on this, check your manual, 450 with a difference of 75. All right, and my inner 2 are showing 36. So 450 minus 75, so that's in tolerance. It's close, but it's there. And then the outer ones are supposed to be 0.4 with a plus or minus 10, I think it is. So 440 or 0.4, depending on what setting you're at. And I'm showing 36. So that's good. All right, so we don't have a problem with the things. All right, now we got to test the coils. All right, and you got to read 2 measurements, the inner and the outer. I don't know which one's which. I go spark plug, well, boot plug point to ground, or bolt or ground. And this is the same thing. It's supposed to be like 0.4. I'm getting 0.3, 0.36 again. It's good. That's the inner. 0.23. 0.1 to 0.4, I think you're supposed to get. You're supposed to get 0.1 to 0.4. I'm getting 0.23. That's good. And then we're going to rock the orange wire to the spark plug boot. And I got a 0.24. 0.23, 0.24. All right, so I'm showing good coils. I'm showing good triggers. I think the power pack's bad. I truly think the power pack's bad. That's something. Well, right now I have no spark and I have good coils, good plugs, and I'm getting good readings up top. Power pack has to be bad. There could be a bad ground somewhere too. Let me get my power pack out and see what happens. Okay, here's the old power pack that came out of it, and it looks great. It's a little dirty, but it's a CD2. I think the older ones were CD2. Don't quote me on that again. Some of them have the 2 orange going to this plug. Some of them have just 2 orange boots going right to another anode on the coil. So I don't know if this is the older one or the newer one. And then you have to look at the shape of the plugs to see if they match up. But you can cut and splice and adjust or add or customize it to make them fit. Mine happen to be the same type. I got it on already. Mine's actually a lot dirtier. And I don't know if it works. It came off a motor, and I guess the motor was either scrap or I had problems getting it running, and I didn't know if it was the coil pack, because again, you can't test these without a DVA meter. So let's just see if this one works. And then the only problem I had with this one is my ground kill switch wire. I guess it came out of the boot. So, you know, my glorious head said, well, just cut the wire out of the boot and then reroute it yourself. You could just depin it and fix it. I don't do anything right. So we're plugged in here. The kill switch wire we'll just leave off for now. I have no way to kill the motor, with the exception of choking it or flooding it out. On the other side is just the power pack on while it's grounded. Let's get the plugs back in. Well, no, not even plugs. Let's see if we get spark. This is a lot easier if both plugs are out. If you're trying to do this one-handed, get a drill or a friend. Oh, there she goes. Spark. Hopefully you can see that. Spark top. I see no reason why the bottom won't spark. Now she'll fire. Question is, will the overheating issue duplicate? If it does, we know the part. We'll assume the power pack is labeled out, and then maybe the heat, the coils, or the the upper's getting too hot, and we'll look into replacing those if we get there. Problem is, how am I going to test this motor? I don't have a boat to test it. Okay, new power pack on. No idea if it's going to work. That hanging kill switch wire, I put a wire cap. Don't do wire caps. Use solder. Do it right. It's in a weird spot. Routed to the kill switch. Hopefully, another wire cap. Hopefully that works. I got some fuel. I got a fitting that has a cracked O-ring, so it's not going to be the fitting, but it should work to see if we're popping off. Filling the bowl. Attempting to fill the bowl. And we got a stuck needle. How about being flooded? Yeah, something's off. I wonder if it's because the choke was out. Oh, I'm dumping raw fuel in the thing. This probably won't start. Maybe it will. I don't know. Flooded. Yeah, I mean, it's just dumping. It's not even gonna start. I thought this was a double kill switch. Failed to realize this was a lanyard cut off. So now that I pulled it out, we should have spark. Hopefully my wiring up of the kill switch didn't affect it. I don't think it will, but let's see if it pops off. Pull the damn kill switch off. Let's try that. There she goes. Gonna have to pump water by chance, would you? Any chance? Nah, this thing's been sitting. Hey! Yeah! I'll be damned. Yeah, okay, so my kill switch being hooked up to this switch means something is routed the wrong way. The kill switch looks like it's hooked up to the lanyard switch, so maybe they were thinking lanyard on kill, not sure, but I want to hook up just a regular kill switch. I don't need the lanyard, but maybe we can make a lanyard work in any case. We'll figure that out later. But she runs. I knew she'd fire. I just knew it. So the question is, once she gets warmed up, will she stop and then restart? Let's see if it starts again. Now the needle's super loose, so it needs a new retainer here. And it says 2 turns out for initial. 1, I'm just gonna do 1.5. I like 1. It's gonna rotate anyway, it doesn't matter. The fuel bowl. It can't regulate the fuel like that, and it got stuck because the primer bulb won't stop. I don't want to flood it, so let's see if it starts again. Carb's got to be gone through. A little sputtery on the throttle, but that could be carb float bowl related. Stay away from the motor. I mean, it's pumping water. I can keep it in gear for 20 minutes, shut it down, see if it restarts. I just don't want to kill the thing. It hasn't ran in 100 years. I want to go through the carb, I want to power wash it. Set the timing right. I don't know what kind of gear oil's in the thing. Change the gear oil, stuff like that. It's got the power. It's got the gimme and go. Let it idle for a little while. Water pump's kind of sputtering. It's probably soft. Hot. Starting to warm up. Starting to get hot. Oh yeah. Starting to get hot. Half. 1. Well, that was only 1 turnout. Oh, no, 1.5. That was 1. So now it's starting to overheat a little bit, but the thermostat, or not the thermostat, the water flow started to sputter. So the fins are probably so set in their ways, I got to re-change that. Let's see if she restarts. Interesting. Throttle. Good. Better than what he was talking about. Did it overheat? Is the fuel bowl problem? That's my guess. I hate when you do that. Okay. Are we emptying the bowl? Could be. Alright. Maybe the problem's already replicated. Heats up and then won't restart. The question is, do we have spark? Did we lose spark? On a different coil pack? Interesting. Well, let's try some, let's see if it's a fuel issue. I'm gonna hit it with some spray real quick. Half, 1, half, we'll do 2. if it starts on the spray. Thank you, buddy. Top off. So, quickly, while the spark plug is in it, now it's sparking. That's not. What does that mean? Sparking strong, but it won't restart. And the water pump did dissipate. Guys, comment down there. Are we flooding out? Are we vapor locking? I doubt it. There's no way. Carb still got to be gone through. Could totally be fuel. Careful when you tighten these up on a hot block. Fast way to a Healy coil repair. See if she pops off. Just get the spark again. We rule out spark. It should still start. I get it if it doesn't want to stay running. She's not firing. There's no fuel. Cut the fuel off with heat. Block. It would be. It won't even. Here's the other coin, right? It won't even start on spray. What does that mean? It should start on spray. If it was a fuel problem, if it wasn't a fuel problem, I'm sorry, if it was a fuel problem, it would start on spray. So you can't lose compression when it gets hot, unless bad head gasket leads to water seeping in more as it gets hot. Write some comments down there. Let me know what you think. I'm going to contemplate on this. But while I'm contemplating, carb's going to come off. We'll try a new set of coil just to eliminate that. Who knows? Maybe even the trigger. Well, it's sparking though. Why would the trigger overheat? You know, but same issue with two different power packs. Even though the other power pack, I couldn't get spark at all. Unless that lanyard was in and I didn't realize it. And we had spark just now. All right, I'm done rambling. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And while you're here, check out any one of my other videos.